Mike, go. Waiting.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Let's go. 60 yards. I'm coming.
Jackson from the shotgun. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
The tackle there by George Odom. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the 27, Wentz. That's complete to his running back, Conner. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 14.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Here's Conner. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line.
Oh, no dice there. That is excellent penetration. They give him no lane whatsoever to try and sneak the football across, and in fact, he'll wind up losing ground on first down.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. There to stop him, Terrell Edmunds.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Andy Isabella with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack. after the sack. It's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. These two teams all tied after one. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Trying to lay one up deep. This is intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll run it now out of the gun. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Watch it slap.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Wide, get wide.
To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Bring it.
They'll run with Pollard. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Jackson on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left, and that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Andy Isabella, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now, after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20. From the gun, it's Wentz. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. It got his man complete. 20, 10. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point put through by Boswell. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Jackson. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Play action. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
This one caught by Isabella. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Flush to his right. He may try and run for this.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
We play to win. Let's go.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Sean Davis that time on the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 18-yard line.
Right there in the middle, 55. You must be dreaming.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's 3rd and 9.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Jackson now, operating from the gun. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's Jackson to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Stand up in. I got 86. I got 86. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Check out. Check. Where'd he go?
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. This is a long drive. Offensively, wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is he's nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jackson throwing again. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Marr is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
It's a short kick, taken near the 18. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
Well, whatever the relationship was between the special teams and the offense, it's gotten a heck of a lot closer after a return like that. The special teams just keep setting them up. The offense thinks they'll go out there and knock them down.
Check 4, check 4. 22, check, cover. 22, check, cover. Go. Check, crunch.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
Here's Pollard again. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Wild Bill. Check three.
From the gun, Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback. Well, that was a show of support to even allow him to attempt to make that kick. And you know if he did, that would tie the NFL record. That's a heck of a shot.
Yeah, it would have been a big deal, but we're not short. On 1st and 10 is Conner. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On the jet sweep, this is Johnson, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Working from the gun, Wentz. Now he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
And now offensively, it's 3rd and 10. And I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They start with a give to Conner, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd and 7, Wentz. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Now Wentz will keep it. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down. They'll run on first down. It's Conner. He's got a first down past the 30. 34 yards there and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Going top shot for Smith. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 15 yards on the play. First down.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 5.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys always taught find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Back near the goal line. Here's Wentz. That's caught. It's Malone. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 12 yards there and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Let's go, let's go.
A gain of 15.
Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Wentz to throw again. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 38. And some room to maneuver. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So the Cowboys now bringing the offense out there to go for 2. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is, and this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we got a backup who's warmed up and is coming to the game, so you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. So that is 2 pick sixes he's thrown in this football game. Now, you take those away, Charles, it's a completely different situation.
It totally is, but guess what? They have to deal with what they have now, okay? So they can't just mentally go, well, if we hadn't thrown those pick sixes, we'd be okay. Here's where you are. Here's where you're going to battle. But guess what? They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz. Johnson the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Ebukam make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw, it's Wentz. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Bilal Nichols able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Winston throw for it on 4th. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. On play action, it's Wentz. Moncrief brings it in. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Again, it's Wentz. Flushed out right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Deltha O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 2-yard line.
Down. 55 to Mike. Hey, defense, let's go.
Now Jackson back into his end zone. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he's only able to get it up to about the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Let's get it.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Jackson on 3rd and long from his end zone. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he will finally be taken down up at the 43. A big play here for Dallas. 41 yards.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Meanwhile here, a run on 1st down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. They'll keep it on the ground. Pollard. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, Pollard. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want?"
And that's caught inside the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Josh Malone, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Boswell good with the extra point, and that will get them one closer. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Well, I know in points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Cowboys, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Cincinnati next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.